Hello dear friends, welcome again to my YouTube channel Geotechnical Engineering Consultancy Tips. Today I have decided to tell you all people about the specifications of how to decide the number and depth of boreholes to be drilled for shallow foundations of buildings on rocks as per Indian standard IS13063 1991, which was reaffirmed in 2016 and further reaffirmed in 2021. Structural safety of buildings on shallow foundations on rocks code of practice. Now I would be referring you all with the relevant clauses of these only. The subject topic, how to decide the number and depth of boreholes. Clause 4.9.3.1 of the code says that in massive crystalline rocks drilling may be omitted, but if it is a very large important building, then at least one borehole need be explored for every 1000 square meter of the area, subject to minimum of 3 boreholes to be drilled at the site. If it is moderately jointed and foliated rocks, then one borehole is to be drilled for every 300 to 500 square meter of area. However, a minimum of 5 boreholes need be drilled in case of foundations for very large, heavy and important buildings. If it is a heavily jointed, sheared and weathered rock mass, then one borehole for every 200 to 300 square meter area is required to be drilled. As per clause 4.9.3.2 of this code about the depth of boreholes, this says that the depth of drill hole below the foundation level should be equal to half of effective width of the foundation system in case of massive and sound rocks. If it is a moderately jointed and foliated rocks, the depth of drill borehole should be at least equal to the effective width of the foundation system below the proposed foundation level. If it is a heavily jointed and weathered rock, the depth of drilled borehole below the foundation level should be at least equal to twice the effective width of the foundation system. That is, the investigation depth is increasing as the rock quality is deteriorating. Now, fourth one is boreholes shall extend up to a minimum depth of 3 meters if it is a continuous rock mass, and in case of solid rock, below jointed rock, if ever encountered at the site, the borehole shall be drilled below the foundations as per clause B and C of the, as mentioned just before, above as appropriate, or half the effective width into solid rock, whichever is shorter. Now, the other important clauses of this code says that where the rock is not exposed on the surface, one borehole shall be drilled for every 300 to 500 square meter of the area to know about the subsurface formations. If the depth of rock is irregularly varying within the adjacent boreholes drilled during the geotechnical investigation being done at the site, then more number of boreholes need be explored at the site to know thoroughly about the existing rock profile of this very site. The criteria for depth of boreholes shall be same as explained in previous clause 4.9.3.2 before. Now the another clause, if this foundation rock happens to be limestone and dolomite associated with groundwater flow, there is a likely chance of solution cavities underneath. In such very cases, boreholes shall be drilled up to a depth of at least 1.5 times the effective width of the foundation below the proposed foundation level. And the last clause 4.9.6 of this code, in reference to the number of boreholes to be drilled at the site for rock foundations, buildings resting for shallow foundations in rocky terrain, suggests that if the foundation rock happens to be consolidated sand rock, siltstone or clay shale with likely chance of getting saturated, necessary exploration and testing shall be conducted, assuming it to be soil, and then the reference codes which I have already discussed in my previous lectures are to be referred to in this very case. So dear friends, this is all what I wanted to tell you in this lecture of mine. Keep on subscribing to my YouTube channel Geotechnical Engineering Consultancy Tips. Thank you very much.